The 2025 inauguration was a moment the world watched closely.
A very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever?
But while all eyes were on Donald Trump, it was his youngest son, Barron Trump, who left everyone speechless. His quiet yet striking presence raised questions, but it was his words that truly shocked the audience. What did Barron say that no one expected? And how did his speech change the way people saw him? There's more to this moment than meets the eye. In this video, we'll uncover Barron Trump's unexpected role in the historic event, the reactions it sparked, and what it could mean for his future. Stay with us as we dive into this unforgettable moment.
Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you.
The event of inauguration. The 2025 inauguration was one of the most awaited moments in recent history. As Donald Trump stepped forward to take the oath for his second term, the eyes of the world turned to the Trump family. Yet, amidst the grandeur of the event, one unexpected figure captured the attention of millions: Barron Trump. His presence alone sparked curiosity, but what truly left everyone in awe was a speech no one saw coming. Before we reveal that moment, let's step back and understand what led to this day and the role he played in his family's journey. The air in Washington, D.C. on January 20th, 2025 was thick with anticipation. This wasn't just any inauguration. It marked a rare moment in American history, the return of a former president for a non-consecutive term, something last seen with Grover Cleveland in the late 19th century. The ceremony, held indoors at the US Capitol Rotunda due to inclement weather, was designed to ensure a seamless and dignified event. It began with the solemn swearing-in ceremony. Chief Justice John Roberts stood before Donald Trump, administering the oath of office.
John Roberts, the Chief Justice on the Supreme Court, came on an official statement from the US Supreme Court.
While Melania Trump held two Bibles, a symbol of continuity and tradition. As the final words of the oath echoed through the chamber, applause erupted. The moment felt both familiar and historic, a reminder of the nation's enduring democratic process. As the day unfolded, Washington transformed into a stage for celebration. The inaugural balls brought an atmosphere of unity and excitement. The Commander-in-Chief Ball at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center stood as a heartfelt tribute to the military. Service members and their families gathered, honored for their sacrifice and dedication. The room swayed to the melodies of Rascal Flatts and Parker McCollum, their performances infusing the night with emotion and pride. The President and First Lady, moving gracefully across the dance floor, shared moments that symbolizes gratitude and national solidarity. Elsewhere, the Liberty Ball at the National Building Museum radiated patriotism. Beneath its grand architecture, dignitaries, celebrities, and citizens mingled in a celebration of American heritage. The room was alive with conversation, laughter, and a sense of renewed optimism. Attendees raised their glasses, sharing their hopes for the next chapter of the nation's journey. Meanwhile, at the Starlight Ball within the Smithsonian Institution building, fondly known as the Castle, a mix of elegance and liveliness took center stage. Nellie and the village people delivered electrifying performances, ensuring that the night was anything but ordinary. The President and First Lady, moving from event to event, embraced the spirit of festivity, engaging warmly with the guests, making each celebration feel personal. Beyond the official gatherings, the city pulsed with unofficial parties. The all-American inaugural ball at the Hyatt Regency Capitol Hill stood out, blending entertainment with heartfelt recognition of American heroes. Every street, every venue held echoes of history in the making, a collective expression of celebration from all corners of the country. The performances throughout the evening were just as diverse as the people who attended. Country icons like Carrie Underwood and Jason Aldean struck chords of patriotism, while Snoop Dogg and Nelly brought a contemporary vibrance, a reminder that America's cultural fabric is ever evolving. Yet, beyond the music, the speeches, and the grand celebrations, something entirely unexpected was about to happen. Among the dazzling lights and the echoes of history, one figure stepped forward, quietly commanding the room's attention. Barron Trump, who had long been known for his reserved nature, was about to deliver a speech that no one anticipated. In that moment, the audience fell silent, the weight of anticipation pressing down on the room. What he said next would leave everyone stunned. The family of Donald Trump. The world watched as the 2025 presidential inauguration unfolded, marking the beginning of Donald Trump's second term as the 47th President of the United States. The focus was on the man at the center of it all, yet just beyond the spotlight stood his family, silent pillars of strength, unwavering in their loyalty. They have been there through every triumph and every storm, shaping the journey in ways that often go unseen. And as this new chapter begins, their roles become even more crucial. Ivanka Trump has always been more than just a daughter. She has been a bridge between politics and business.
The president will continue to support you every step of the way. And just like Americans always do, the nation will come together.
Seamlessly navigating both worlds with grace and precision. During her father's first term, she stepped into the public eye as an advisor, championing women's economic empowerment and entrepreneurship.
Codify women's empowerment as a foreign policy priority at the State Department and create the appropriate resources.
And though she later chose a more private path, her influence never truly faded. She carries a quiet yet undeniable presence, one that speaks in actions rather than words. Even now, away from official titles, her guidance remains a force behind the scenes, her understanding of diplomacy, her ability to connect with power players, and her unwavering devotion to her father's vision. In moments of crisis, she has been the calm in the storm, the voice of reason, and perhaps that is where her true strength lies, not in the spotlight, but in the unshakable foundation she provides. Donald Trump Jr. stands in stark contrast. Bold, outspoken, unafraid to charge headfirst into controversy. He has always been one of his father's fiercest defenders, taking on critics and political adversaries with relentless energy. His voice has echoed through rallies, debates, and social media, shaping the narrative with unfiltered passion. But beyond the fiery speeches and unwavering loyalty, there is something deeper, a sense of duty, a belief in the cause. He does not simply support his father, he fights for what he believes their movement represents. His role is not just to defend, but to inspire, to rally those who stand with them. And in this second term, his voice will not quiet. If anything, it will only grow stronger. And then there's Eric. Less visible, perhaps, but no less important. While others take center stage, he remains behind the curtain, ensuring that the foundation they have built remains intact. The Trump Organization has been his battlefield, a world of negotiations, strategy, and legacy. He is the quiet force that keeps the empire running while his father governs a nation. Steady, unwavering, loyal, his presence may not always command headlines, but it is felt in every decision, every move that strengthens the family's name. And as his father's second term unfolds, his role will remain just as vital, ensuring that while one Trump leads a country, another safeguards the empire they've built. But then there's Barron, the youngest, the one who has grown up under the weight of a legacy he did not choose. For years, he remained in the background, a silent observer in a world of power and expectation. But something is changing. There's a quiet intensity in his eyes now, a hint of the man he is becoming.
That's Barron. He's strong, he's smart, he's tough, he's vicious, he's violent.
Unlike his siblings, he has been shielded from the public eye for most of his life, but that veil is beginning to lift. He is no longer just the president's son, he is a young man stepping into his own story. And with that, the question arises, what will his path be? Will he follow in the footsteps of those who came before him, or will he carve out something entirely new? And then, in the midst of all the speculation, he speaks. The words are unexpected, yet powerful. A glimpse of something no one had quite seen before. The crowd listened, drawn in by the quiet confidence, the presence that now feels undeniable. In that moment, the weight of the Trump legacy does not rest solely on the shoulders of those who have carried it for years. It shifts, expands, and makes room for something new, something unknown. And as the second term begins, one thing is clear. The story of this family is far from over. But what happened that changed everything? Speech by Barron Trump. The air was thick with anticipation. The 2025 inauguration of Donald Trump was expected to be a grand affair, filled with all the usual traditions and formalities. But no one could have predicted the moment that would truly define the day. It wasn't a speech from a seasoned politician or a carefully crafted message from an influential leader. Instead, the voice that left an unforgettable mark on history belonged to someone many had never truly heard before, Barron Trump. For years, Barron had remained a quiet presence, growing up in the background of a family constantly in the public eye. Unlike his father, he had stayed away from the spotlight, avoiding the endless scrutiny that comes with the Trump name. But that changed in an instant. As he stepped onto the stage, the murmurs in the crowd grew silent. There was a sense of curiosity, of mystery. What would he say? What could he possibly add to this momentous day? Then, with a steady breath, he began.
His words weren't about politics, nor were they carefully rehearsed talking points meant to sway opinions. Instead, he spoke from the heart. He spoke to his generation, the young people caught in the turbulence of a world that often feels like it's shifting beneath their feet. With an honesty that was both unexpected and refreshing, he acknowledged the struggles they face, the uncertainty of the future, the pressure to succeed, the overwhelming speed at which everything changes, the weight of economic instability, the evolving challenges of education, the anxiety of a world that sometimes seems to demand too much. He didn't shy away from any of it. But what made his speech stand out was not just his ability to articulate these struggles, it was his refusal to let them define the future. Rather than dwell on fear, Barron focused on resilience, on hope, on the power that young people hold to create something better. He reminded them that every great movement, every significant change, had always started with those willing to challenge the way things were, that they too had the ability to shape a world where opportunities weren't limited by outdated systems, but expanded by fresh ideas and innovation. His words carried a message that was impossible to ignore. The future should not be something to fear, but something to build. And yet it wasn't just about the youth. He extended his message beyond his generation, calling for unity between young and old. He spoke of the wisdom that older generations had to offer, the lessons learned from experience, and the importance of working together rather than apart. It wasn't about division or blame, it was about finding common ground, about lifting each other up instead of standing in each other's way. Then, his speech took an even deeper turn. He spoke about something rarely addressed on such a grand stage: mental health. He acknowledged the silent battles so many young people fight, the struggles that often go unnoticed. He urged for change, for understanding, for a world where no one feels alone in their pain. His words carried a weight that resonated deeply, breaking through the barriers of politics and status, reaching into the hearts of those who had ever felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood. By the time he finished speaking, the atmosphere had shifted. What had started as mere curiosity turned into something greater. A realization that this moment, this message, was not just another ceremonial tradition, it was a call to action, a reminder that the future is not written by those who stand idly by, but by those who dare to believe in something better. Barron Trump had stepped onto that stage as the quiet son of a former president, but by the time he walked away, he had become a voice for a generation, one that was no longer willing to wait for change, but ready to create it. What do you admire most about Barron? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.